Confession time. I know minimalism is a trend these days, but I love gadgets and I'm not minimalistic about it. I love unboxing shiny new things, I love the tech behind them, and I've spent way too much money buying everything on the market, just to be sure I'm using the best thing. If you are like me or you know someone who is, let me save you some money. Here are 10 of my favorite things from 2021. I use all of these things regularly in my job as a developer advocate, so they're perfect for the special techie in your life. Unless that techie is me, because I've already got them. I already looked at the links for all of the things I'm mentioning, so check out the description below. Number 10. Oh, and by the way, this is not in any sort of order. These are just the top 10, but within the 10, I'm not ordering them. The first one is actually what I'm using right now. This is a Rode pod mic, and I love it as a microphone. It's on this Rode RSA1 or something. It's a boom arm, but the Rode pod mic for its class is amazing. The problem with it is that it's an XLR microphone, which is good in terms of quality, but bad in terms of just being able to plug it into your laptop. So I've actually got it hooked up to a really fancy audio mixer called the Rodecaster Pro. So that's what I use on a daily basis, but when I travel, I use a microphone that I think is actually much more accessible. It is the Elgato Wave 3. I really like this microphone, one, because it's so much lighter to travel with, and because it's a USB-C microphone. I don't need to bring any other adapter or any separate external mixer just to be able to use this. It's a condenser microphone as opposed to this one, which is dynamic. It's not so important. They're both really good quality. If you cared about the difference, you'd probably be getting something much more expensive. This is the audio from the Elgato Wave 3, my travel mic of choice. And this is the audio from the mic that I usually use at home, the Rode Pod mic going into a Rodecaster Pro mixer. I haven't listened to this yet, so let me know in the comments below which one you think sounded better, or if you could even tell a difference between the two. Elgato has an app with Wavelink that basically mimics the interface of a physical audio mixer, except it's virtual. So instead of having this big box on your table that is impossible to travel with, you just have an app. So if you're on a Zoom call, for example, you might want to say that you want people to be able to hear the songs you're playing on your Spotify app, but maybe not on your Slack, so you're not interrupted by notifications. It's a small thing, but it's really important if you're doing a lot of video conferencing, which, I mean, in this day and age, who isn't? My second favorite thing this year is a mechanical keyboard, and you might not be surprised to find that this is the Keychron K6. Okay, it looks a little bit different because I changed the keys for it. It's pretty cool, huh? So if you get this, it won't come in this cool, colorful colorway. It'll come in just like a much more stable and sensible gray and with single orange key, which is like the thing with Keychron. Mechanical keyboards are a new thing for me this year. I didn't really understand why people liked them until I got one, and it just changes the typing experience, which is something I had not even considered until it did change for me, and now I just can't go back. So the K6 is the 68 key, 65% version. What that means is that it's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't have like the arrow keys on a separate thing here. I happen to like that. I have small hands, I have a small desk, but if you don't like it, then you can upgrade to the K8, which is a TKL or 10 keyless. It just means it has these 3 things separated out, and all it's missing are the 10 numerical keys, which most people don't really use anyway. If you are getting this and you're new to mechanical keyboards too, just get the Gateron brown switches because that's like a nice middle spot. The problem with this is it's a thick boy. It's pretty chunky and not too light, so not great to travel with. So instead, when I travel with this. This is like the smaller brother of the Keychron K6. It is called the K3. The Keychron K3 actually has a few more keys, but it is low profile, so it's a lot easier to slide this into your backpack when you're traveling. It is still mechanical. It doesn't feel as good as the K6, but it's a good compromise all around. Plus, it comes with this really cool travel case, or it can come with it anyway. You can get a bundle for it, and it comes right from Keychron. Number 3 is something that I technically don't have. I have the older version of it, and that is the Elgato Keylight. So the Keylight Air is the one that I'm recommending now because it came out after I bought the Keylight. Really, I think the Keylight is a little bit brighter and a lot more expensive, and really the Keylight Air should be fine for most needs. I only ever have it on like 15% most of the time, and by the way, that is my main Keylight right now. So if I turn it off, that's what it looks like. It's a pretty big difference for such a small thing. Really recommend it. Not so great for traveling though, so I do have a more travel friendly light that I usually bring when I'm traveling. And let me just get it. It's actually putting a little light here in the corner. This is the Aperture Amaran MC. So this is what it looks like. This is on 60%, so it can go a lot brighter. I also got the bundle with this sort of diffuser. I really love that this light is LED, so it's good on video, and it's RGB, which means that you can change the color of the light. So right now I've got it to this warm orangey temperature, just so it matches like my light up there. And I just have it hanging out in the corner here, just adding a little bit of interest. But when I'm traveling, I use it as my main light, and then I have it up, cranked up all the way, and a little bit cooler of a temperature, just so I'm not super orange. But I really love it because it charges wirelessly or by USB-C. So if you have a key charger, you can just drop it on there. It is also magnetic, so you can just put it on any pole or post or something, and you've got light. Number 4 thing is something I've gotten so much use out of. I've had it for like 2 years now, and I really got it for traveling, but it turns out I like to use it even when I'm not traveling. This is the OmniCharge 20C Plus. It is a USB-C hub, but it's also a portable battery charger. As a power bank, this holds 20,100 milliamp hours, which actually isn't that much because there are a lot of power banks that hold more power than that. The problem is that not all power banks can charge a laptop, and that is something that I want my power bank to be able to do. So my laptop is a MacBook Pro. It's one of the Intel Macs before the new chips, and it needs 60 watts to be able to charge without it draining while you're using it. This is one of the few that go up to 100 watts, and that is the limit for most airplanes without getting into like specialized medical equipment or anything. This has 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C. It has wireless charging, so you can charge your phone with it, and it has charging pass-through. So you can plug this into the wall outlet so that you're charging the power bank itself, and then plug the other end into your laptop or something, and they both get charged. My 5th thing is not a new one. I've been using it for, I don't know, maybe 10 years now, but I love it so much that I still want to be sharing it with you in 2021. It is an app called You Need a Budget. And even though I have worked for YNAB in the past, I no longer work for them. I don't get anything by recommending them. But this app has literally changed my life and my husband's life and my entire perspective, because I'm one of those people, I mean, as you can tell probably with my love for gadgets, I have not been the most frugal, and learning how to budget and learning to be aware of what I'm spending on and intentional about what I'm spending on has really changed everything for me. I'm not going to go on about it here because there's just so much that I would like to say on this topic, maybe in another video. I just think it's really sad that I see a lot of people in tech have higher salaries and nothing to show for it. I don't think it's ever too early to start being aware of what you're spending. It is not a free app, but it's one I can heartily recommend. It is called You Need a Budget at youneedabudget.com, or YNAB for short. Number 6 is something that I've owned almost every iteration of, and that's the Amazon Kindle. More specifically, my Kindle of choice is the Kindle Oasis. I think you can get by with a Kindle Paperwhite, and in fact, Amazon just released a new version of it a few months ago, but I still prefer the Kindle Oasis because it is just premium and it has the space, the physical buttons here, and the space to hold it. You can turn it any which way. It's waterproof. Just so many things to love. And the only thing I don't like about it is that it's micro USB. The Kindle Paperwhite is USB-C, but I mean trade-offs. I don't think everybody needs a Kindle, but every bookworm needs a Kindle. Because if you haven't switched to digital books yet, you really should. Just reduces clutter, it's cheaper, it's more convenient, you get it faster, and if you spring for the 3G version, then you just get books wherever you are, sometimes even on an airplane. Not that I've tried. Number 7 is really a little too small to show you here, but that's kind of the point. This is the YubiKey 5C Nano. And what I like about this one, and I've owned previous versions of YubiKey before, is that it is perfect for a USB-C laptop. So if you've got a MacBook like me, it doesn't even stick in. I just always have it plugged in. It is a physical security key, so you can lose it really easily like that. It is a security key, and it's really good for multi-factor authentication. If you have like a Google or Facebook account, I mean, do people still use Facebook? But anyway, if you have a Google or Facebook account, you might have seen a multi-factor authentication option. You should always turn that on to secure your accounts, your online accounts. And you should also avoid using SMS because it's the least secure method. So you can choose to have a code sent to your email or an authenticator app, but the best one is a security key because it is something physical that you keep with you, and all you have to do is when you're trying to log it. Oh my god, did I just drop it again? All you have to do when you log in is make sure this is plugged in and then touch the little metal part. And that is enough to send the signal that it is indeed you and you are the one that's trying to access your account. So you don't have to type in any number or any code. So it's actually even more convenient and more secure. So I think it's a no-brainer. I just leave mine plugged into my laptop all the time because it doesn't even stick out. And when I do remove it, I tend to drop it, as you've seen. Number 8 is somewhat related. It is the Trezor Model T. It can be used as a security key just like the YubiKey, so I actually use it as a backup. I always keep this with me when I'm traveling or just when I'm going out, whereas the YubiKey tends to stay with my laptop. Sometimes I'm not bringing my laptop, so it's good to have 2 of them just as a backup. If I lose one, I can still access my online accounts. But the real thing that it's good at is it is also a cryptocurrency physical wallet. My husband and I have invested significantly in cryptocurrencies. We started out with Bitcoin more than a decade ago, but we've since expanded to altcoins. Trezor supports all of the most common ones, even ERC20 ones that are on the Ethereum chain. And having a physical wallet, like a hardware wallet like this, is so much safer than having crypto sitting on exchanges. You should never have significant amounts of money on exchanges because they can be hacked. This can't. Number 9 is not an electronic gadget, but it's still a gadget. And it helps me unbox those other gadgets that I've bought. This is the Leatherman Skelletool. This is the RX version. Honestly, I got the RX version because it's red, but you can get the normal version. It is a multi-tool, and the most useful tool is just the knife that I use to open packages, but it can do a whole bunch of other things. It has pliers. It even has this tip here so that if you're in a car and you need to break the window for whatever reason, this little tip here will break the glass. And number 10 is my noise canceling headphones of choice. These are the Bose NC700s. They're about a year old now, and I still think that they're one of the best. I tried Sony ones and they're really good, but I don't know, if you're like me, I find that their noise canceling algorithm is a little too aggressive. I actually get headaches from it, but I don't have that problem with the Bose ones. Now, Bose has a long history of being one of the best in noise canceling technology, and they've recently, like a few days ago, just released the QC35-2s. Now, I don't have that yet, although I am giving it as a gift to my sister-in-law. Hope she's not watching this. But I would recommend that based on Bose's solid history and experience in noise canceling, and also these particular ones that are a little worn now. Like, I've traveled with them quite a bit, but they still work and they've never failed me. These are the Bose NC700 noise canceling headphones. So that was it. That felt really self-indulgent because I'm just showing off all the things that I love, a little bit of a show and tell. If you're interested in a bit more of my setup, you might find a lot of the tools that I use on a regular basis in this video about a work week in my life as a developer advocate. Have happy holidays, or Merry Christmas, or whatever holidays you celebrate, and thanks for watching.